Welcome everyone to day 10 of David's Tea's 24 Days of Tea 2024 edition, and I'm recording this super early in the morning. It is about 6 a.m., and I figured I wanted to turn over a little bit of a new leaf, right? I wanted to start waking up early, maybe eat breakfast, get these tea reviews done before going to work, possibly get an hour workout in too, just to start changing my mindset going forward for 2025 to kind of what I used to do, right? I used to always be up early, working out, eating breakfast first thing in the morning before I did anything else. So, with that being said, hopefully this tea brings me on the right track, because sometimes you need a little bit of a push, right? Sometimes you need a little bit of a trainer. And for day 10, we have a tea that's called Organic Mother's Little Helper. Now, don't get me wrong, that name for this tea kind of sounds a little weird in my opinion, but maybe that's just how my brain's wired, right? So, Organic Mother's Little Helper is an herbal infusion tea, which means there's no caffeine to it. However, we have some great ingredients because we have organic peppermint, organic lemongrass, organic hibiscus, organic rose hips, organic chamomile, organic valerian root, corn flowers, and natural peppermint flavoring. See, I think this tea is great because it has a lot of different things in there that just help to not only calm you, but work with your immune system. You know, you have your chamomile and your valerian root, which are supposed to be herbs that are supposed to kind of mellow you down, right? And this tea is probably great right before bed. And you also have your peppermint, which on cold days like this is set to help clear out the sinuses a little bit. You know, the valerian root is an ingredient I've seen increasingly in like nighttime teas in recent times. But then you have your hibiscus and your rose hips, as well as like the lemongrass, which is probably going to give this more of like, I don't want to say an earthy flavor, but more of a floral flavor. I was looking at this morning, and I know I've reviewed this tea before, and I always viewed this tea in the past as a tea that you would have when you're sick, right? So I started thinking, where were you this whole past weekend when I could have needed you? Lo and behold, you were waiting for me at day 10. Now, when you steep this tea, it gives a nice little red aroma, which I want to think, not red aroma, red coloring, which I want to think is probably coming from the hibiscus, because the scent you get off of this is kind of earthy. You know, you smell the peppermint, but you also smell like the chamomile and the lemongrass. Lemongrass to me has a very distinct smell to it, so that really starts coming off very strong. But let's take a couple sips. Let's see how this is first thing in the morning. What's interesting is it does taste kind of like a medicine in a weird way, but not in like a bad way. See, what you're getting off of this is that peppermint flavor, but when you mix it with those like floral flavors like hibiscus and like the lemongrass like I was going on, it really brings it together in really like a almost like an earthy taste. And I'm not opposed to it. See, this is probably the tea that's very different than what's already been discussed the last 10 days. Mother's Little Helper has always been a tea that stands out to me, that they throw this in the advent calendar, and I think it's because it has many ingredients that I would at least think would help combat like your common cold and stuff like that. It's a lot of nice herbs and like peppermint, obviously. I'm a big fan of peppermint, if you guys know from the channel. And I think that this tea, as day 10, kind of fits in a good position because it kind of changes things up. It's not like a festive tea in any way, but it is definitely one of those teas that is worth the try. See, because the way the flavoring comes out, it's like, I know I mentioned that you get the peppermint, the hibiscus, the rose hips, all that, but I think it blends together in a way that you really, at least I can't put into words the flavoring, because it's a very odd tasting combination, but odd in a good way. Yeah, odd in a good way. It's one of those teas I think you have to try for yourself in order to kind of understand what they were going for here and like what this flavor profile really is. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have waited, oddly enough, to try this after work, because with the chamomile and the valerian root, it's a great calm down blend right there. That would probably be great right before bed instead of me right now attempting to wake up and about to work out. So, the calm down aspect of it, the relaxing aspect of it, I probably could do without. But that's only because of, obviously, the time of day in which I'm drinking this. But overall, for day 10, I think Organic Mother's Little Helper changes things up a little bit and brings us a more like traditional herbal medicinal tea, if that makes sense. Because it has so many things in it that are just very earthy, very floral. It's different than what we've tried so far, and I think it's a welcome spot here at 10, just to kind of change things up a bit, right? So if you guys are following along, what do you think of day 10, Organic Mother's Little Helper? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. I will catch you tomorrow. As always, you know the deal, right? Steep it, drink it, and enjoy. Have a good one.